Hello everyone. Today we're going to review the 2018 Bliger or Parnis GMT Rootbeer watch. This watch arrived precisely 3 days ago for me on Christmas Eve, and it definitely made a great Christmas present to myself. When I first made my first review video, a few people commented that I should get this watch in review. To be honest, I didn't think I was going to buy this watch because I already owned a few other GMT or similar type of watches. But when I saw a photo of this watch online, I decided that I have to get it. And you will find out why later in this video. We're going to talk a few aspects of this watch, including the brand, heritage, homage, the look of this watch, comparison with a genuine Rolex model, comparison with a Parnis version of this watch, the movement, function, Loom, and lastly, how does it look on the wrist? Now we'll start with the brand. I'll be honest, I know almost nothing about this brand other than the fact that I don't know how to properly pronounce the name. And that I'm probably a big fan of this brand because I do own other three watches from them myself. These are the GMT Snowman, the green version of the Sea Dweller homage, and the two-toned blue version of the sub homage. Now let me know in the comment if you'd like to separate review videos of these other watches as well. And for the rest of this video, I'm going to pronounce this as the Bliger watch. The first question everybody had is this brand related to Parnis? I tried to contact the manufacturer, however, I did not get a response. So the short answer is, I don't know. However, my opinion is that they are not related to Parnis, and is probably a Parnis wannabe brand that started after Parnis' initial success and are basically doing somewhat similar strategy or tactics as Parnis in making their watches. By looking through their online catalog, similar to Parnis, Bliger manufactures a lot of watches in homage watch community. Primarily, they produce a lot of diver watches, which are homage to the Rolex lineage, like the Sub, GMT, and Sea Dweller. Compared to Parnis, I find Bliger watches better looking watches, and they're in general more creative in their designs, and that's why I own 4 of these myself, because Parnis did not create the ones that I have. Parnis do not have a white version of the GMT. Parnis make a green version of the Sub, however it doesn't look as good. And Parnis doesn't make a two-tone version of the blue a sub homage watch. So in general, I also find the overall build quality of Bliger watches a bit less than Parnis. Again, nothing wrong with the movement or majority of the watch, but sometimes you find the quality of the bracelets or the crown something that is a bit less than what Parnis could offer in terms of build quality. That being said, it's still a fantastic bang for the buck. And I purchased this one, the GMT Rootbeer, from eBay, and I will leave a link in the description of this watch so you know where to find it. Now, obviously, this is homage to the 2018 release of the Rolex Ceramic Rootbeer GMT Master 2 with two-toned everrose gold. Reference number 126711 CHNR. Equipped with the newest caliber 3285 movement. Now, it is the Rolex version of this watch. It's quite a hot watch, and according to my local dealer, it comes by once in a while, but they've given out probably 5 or 6 in the past year. retails at around 16,100 Canadian dollars. Now let's take a look at the aesthetics of this watch first. Now I'm going to demonstrate how it works, and then we're going to compare the similarities and differences to both the Rolex model and also the Parnis model. Now this watch is 40 millimeter in size, a very typical size of a wristwatch. It is 12.4 millimeters thick. Let me just get the focus. Yes, 12.4 millimeters thick. And it has a sapphire crystal, two-toned ceramic bezel. It is black at the top, darkish brown, almost like a burgundy color at the bottom. 316L stainless steel polished case. And it also has polished rose gold center links for these watches, and a brush on the side for the bracelet. Now I'm unable to find out how the gold colors get on here, but for the price, I'm assuming is rose gold PVD coating. The crown is also in rose gold color. You can see it's this blue part haven't been rubbed off yet. Because it's only a 3-day-old watch, and it has a screw-down crown as well. This is a screw-down crown. The lug-to-lug distance is about 20 millimeter, and it fits with almost any Parnis bracelet or any other watch strap you want to put on this watch. And you can see it fits with this style of bracelet as well. And it fits with just any 20 millimeter watch strap as well. And of course, it fits on a regular bracelet like this. Now, let's take a look more at the details of the face and the dial of this watch. Now, the ceramic bezel looks very nice, and the numerals are also rose gold in color. And I have to say the rose gold color in the rose gold numerals also gives off a bit of a plated look. It doesn't look cheap at all. I think they did a great job with the numerals. It definitely looks good. It doesn't look painted on at all. The edges of the bezel are also rose gold in color. They are polished on the top. You can see with a reflection here. And brushed on the side. Brush on the side. The bezel is single direction rotating, which means it only rotates counterclockwise. And it's 120 click bezel. It is smooth, not very tight or loose, and it doesn't move freely a lot. So it's quite a smooth and nice bezel. And let's take a look. Let's rotate this back to the starting position, and it aligns nicely. And let's take a look at the dial of this watch. The luminated pearls on the dial are all very nicely finished with rose gold edges. On the hands, we have 4 different hands here. The second hand, the minute hand, the hour hand, and the GMT hour hand. And they're all in very nice rose gold finish edges. Okay, the date is at 3 o'clock position. It looks very nice. And I think the magnification on the cyclope is around anywhere from 2 to 2.5. And this does vary a bit in different models. So you can see this one right here it's probably 2.5, perfect 2.5, and this is a bit less. I'll say maybe 2.2, maybe, perhaps. I'm not sure the exact magnification of this. And the dial says Bliger, then GMT automatic at the bottom over here. It looks very nice, and it gives out a quite expensive finish overall. The bracelet, it's also quite nice. You can take a better look at the bracelet. I'm gonna unbuckle this. So the bracelet look like. Very nice polishing of the bracelet. And it says this is a typical deployment clasp with the buckle right here, a lock, and it says Bliger here. It also features an extension. I think it's around 2 centimeter a diver extension adjustment, which is quite useful. Let me show you how this works. So you just pop this open, and then you slide it out, and it gives out roughly 2 centimeters of adjustment, which is quite useful when you are trying to do some micro adjustment of this watch at some point. And I'm going to leave this at almost the tightest position because I'm going to try this watch on later in this video. Okay, yeah, so that's basically the overall aesthetics of this watch. And let's talk about the movement. Okay, so this watch has a Chinese-made DG3804B movement, which is made by Mingzhu in Guangzhou, China. It is a 21 euro, 21,600 beats per hour movement, which comes with the hour, minute, hacking second hand, date, and GMT complications. Now, the DG movements are the most basic movements for Chinese watches. They're growing in quality and reputation over the years. The specific one that's being used in this watch is very widely used in Parnis GMT and many other GMT watches, so it's quite reliable. Since I've got this watch, it's been around 3 days, and it's running 2 seconds off the atomic clock, so it's quite nice. To operate this watch, when the GMT time is set to the GMT time, you can rotate the bezel to the time zone plus or minus GMT time to get the proper time display. You can also set the GMT hand to a second time zone and read the time like that. It's up to you. It is an independent GMT hand, which means it will move and set freely. The way you set the watch is you unscrew the crown, then you can wind the watch, and you pull out the crown one time and rotate clockwise to set the date, and you rotate counterclockwise to set the GMT hand, and you pull out the crown again to the second position. Then the watch is stopped. The second hand are hacking, where you can set the time of this watch. In order to prevent damages to the watch, it is recommended that you do not set the time or the GMT time or the date, any of that, when the time is between 9 p.m. and 3 a.m. So what I always do is I would move the time to 6 a.m. first, and then I would set the date, and then I go back to set it to proper time. That prevents any potential damages you could cause to this watch. So how is this watch different from the Rolex version? I gotta say that Bliger did a great job in simulating the design of this watch. It looks absolutely fantastic. A few differences I spotted here are the printing of the dial, of course, it says Bliger. The ceramic bezel, the color perhaps it's a bit darker than what it actually is on the Rolex version of the root beer. As I know, the Rolex version of the root beer, it's more of a caramel color at the bottom. For this one, it's more of a darkish brown. And in compared to the Parnis version of this root beer watch, and this is the reason why I chose Bliger over Parnis on this model. I think everything else is pretty much the same. You know, the movements and the look of this watch in general. The notable difference I had is the bracelet. So the Parnis version do not offer a polished center link, which and the Parnis version is brushed on the center link as well. And based on my experience, I'm not a big fan of that. I already own a two-tone watch like this one that is brushed in the center, and I really wish that this one is also polished gold in the center link. It would make it look so much nicer. But that's why I got this watch over Parnis, and I'm really happy I did. Now, lastly, I want to check out the lume of this watch. Let's see. Let's give it a illumination, and I'm not sure if you can see anything. Yeah, you can see some daytime lume here. It's very bright here. So take my words for it. The lume is great. Blue lume is very nice. It's the same as all these other Bliger watches. They all have quite a nice lume. I think in general, I think the looms are actually better than Parnis. Like this one, it's also got a quite nice lume. Anyways, and lastly, let's see how it looks on my wrist. The buckle is quite smooth as well. There you go. That's the wrist shot. In conclusion, I do love this watch a lot, and you know, I think whether you are on the wait list for the 126711 CHNR or just a big fan of the ceramic GMT root beer, you can't go wrong with a little over $100 for this watch. It looks absolutely fantastic, and I love it. I have to tell you that if you have, because I had a bit trouble of getting one of the screws off on this bracelet. I have to tell you that if you have trouble getting off one of these little screws on the bracelet, do not try to force it off. You will end up damaging the bracelet. So apply a little bit of DW40, and it will come off very easily after you've done that. So check out the link in the description to where to buy this watch. Again, like, subscribe, and share if you liked this video, and comment on which watch you'd like me to review next. And as always, have a great day, watch fam. And for the next 30 seconds, maybe, I'm just gonna show this watch a little bit better so you have more angles of this watch. So hopefully that gives you a better view of what this watch looks like from basically all angles. And have a great day.